number one thing that we had to deal with as far as change goes is, as we're growing as a company, what is the number one thing that we need, which is more people. And I don't know if anybody else is dealing with this particular challenge, but there's not a lot of estimators just sitting around with nothing to do right now. If you know some that are good, come see me after this, because I would love to talk to you. But trying to get young or new people into the industry is very challenging. Experience doesn't come with a degree. It comes with years of experience, obviously. And so trying to find people that were interested in getting into the pre-con activities and really digging into that, part of that was saying that we have a great tool set for you to use to do that work. Quantity takeoff is so much fun. And I'll tell you right now, I'm going to poke fun at myself at this pretty much this morning, just one, because you don't have to listen to me drone on, but two, because I am an architect by training. And so when I walked into the pre-con room for one of our first early on sessions to talk about, how are we going to approach change, and that I was going to be helping to lead the group, not just leading, helping to lead the group. There was obviously some strange eyes of looking at me going, what does an architect know about estimating? But I knew just enough to be dangerous and to help the group. So I think that was, to Brent's comment, one of the number one things driving our change was we were having a change in staff because we have attrition, we have people retiring, we have people that are moving on, they're getting new offers because obviously there's a resource strain right now. But then we wanted to get not necessarily fresh out of college, but I wouldn't say that we're against it. We're recruiting at even the high school level today to get people into the construction industry. But as it relates to around pre-con in particular, we wanted people that are going to buy into using new technology, using BIM, Revit, wherever the models came from. We're sort of agnostic about that. We just wanted the energy and the curiosity to jump into using these newer tools. And we all get good at what we do, and we get kind of, there's the potential to get set in our ways. So again, we didn't say we wouldn't hire one person over the other because of that, but it was more about, if we could bring people on and use this as a recruiting tool, and we do it right, that was going to really help us in the long run. And so we didn't focus on trying to get done per se in 6 months. We knew 6 months wasn't going to be realistic. I should say we realized that a little later, but 6 months was not going to be a realistic timeline. It was really probably going to take about a year for us to get through that entire process. And we'll talk a little bit more about the process, but what we wanted to gain from it at the end of it was not just a new estimating tool. I mean, we could have bought any estimating tool, but what we were trying to accomplish was a new process that built on our experience, built on the data that we had from previous projects, but then also to develop a partner. And in our case, it happened to be Beck. But the reason that worked out for us was because culturally they aligned with us and understood what we were trying to accomplish in the long run. And they were going to work with us and help us define. We didn't have every single thing figured out at the get-go. But by going through this process of reviewing everything that we had and looking at our staff and listening to them and getting their buy-in on different parts of it, that helped us to kind of even further define our goals as we were going on. Because there's your needs in the get-go to get switched over. And those, you have to be able to estimate, you have to be able to do quantity takeoff. Those are things you have to be able to do. But a year from now, we wanted to have some goals that we could start to really shoot for. Could we really use the model to get more of the takeoff done? Could we get more analytics? Could we really start to look at our history and use that to help drive some of our I got 20 minutes to get an estimate for a 20-story high-rise, or you said 26. So, those were our goals. Those were our long-term goals. But we had short-term needs that to roll out a new platform were things we had to concentrate on first. And so I think that's what helped drive our change. And that was, from our experience, that was what was really going to give us the benefit of going through a change like this.
Yep. So one final point, we can move on to the next segment. But you mentioned about new perspectives, and that can help drive change. Just a quick story. I remember in my first 3 years with the organization, I was on a huge project, and we were in a hurry. We were trying to do something, and I got a submittal approval letter and faxed it to somebody just about the time my project manager walks up and says, "What the are you doing?" I'm faxing this submittal cover to Joe so we can, you can't fax submittal approvals. You have to send hard copies. You know, I'm thinking, what's wrong with a fax? You know, it gets it there faster and sooner. So I'm just saying it was a fresh perspective. I was young and naive, and I didn't know that you had to send a hard copy. But it's things like that that can introduce cause for change. Well, maybe we should reevaluate this fax machine, right? Maybe it could help us do things faster and better. So there's opportunities for improvement.